Hey, you all, happy Tuesday. It is Testimony Tuesday, and this is a powerful testimony that as I was driving, the Lord wanted me to share this testimony, and I'm sharing it because the Lord used me to intercede and stand in the gap for my brother. And this testimony is part of my brother's story. I'll be glad when he really stepped out on faith and allow God to use him to share his story. But I wanted to share about how I stood on Luke 1:37 for my brother and prayed and interceded on his behalf, and God answered our prayers. And I posted a video the other day stating against all odds, and my brother had all the odds against him. And right around 1992, my brother went to jail at the age of 16 and convicted of a crime he did not commit. He did 25 years in jail, and all odds were against my brother. All odds were against my brother. He took, first off, the justice system is so crooked. They questioned my brother as a minor without my mother being there. He had, of course, a public defender, and the public defender, they ended up switching his public defender at the last minute, and the public defender then wasn't able to properly prepare for the case against him. And my brother my brother stood on not snitching. Okay, so he ended up taking the rap for the person who really did commit the crime. And my brother paid for 25 years of his life. But God is so faithful, you all. God is so faithful, and all odds were against him. They used people to lie on him. And one of them was one of our cousins who was on drugs at the time. He's not living now, God rest his soul. But he was on drugs at the time, and he was used also to testify and lie on my brother. And it's funny how God would make all things work together for the good. Right before my cousin died, he had gave me, because people my brother had the Innocent Project people working on this case. Shout out to the Innocent Project, and you see them in the pictures that's here. But he gave me a copy, my cousin, of his recantment, the affidavit of his recantment before he died. And my cousin died in maybe 2000 and I would say 2004 or 5, one of the, but and I kept that all them years, and the Innocent Project never gave up on my brother, and I stood on Luke 1:37 for my brother. With God nothing is impossible. And God really showed that scripture really became faith evidence in our lives. And my brother, our mom died while my brother was in jail. He didn't get to attend a few. So we lost a lot. And our mother was never the same when my brother did go to jail. But God answered her prayers as well. And even though she didn't get to see my brother released, my dad, it's funny, the year my dad died, a month before my dad died, my brother got out. And you see the time stamp on the picture, November 2019, my dad got to see my brother. The man, he wasn't his biological dad, but he helped raise my brother. So my dad got to see my brother before he died. So I'm sharing this because although you may feel like you might have a family member that's incarcerated right now, and you can see in 2010, my brother tried to do an appeal, but God's time, and God knows everything, and God knew my brother was going to get released. And although he wanted to give up, although he probably felt like he would never get out that place, my brother served 25 years in jail, was in there from the age of 16. He got convicted at age 18. But like I said, God is so faithful. And I just want to encourage somebody as a mother, you may be going through something with your teenage son. Show them this video. Show them what happens when you hang with the wrong crowd. As you can see, my brother, he could have really fought it to the end, but he was tired of being in there. So he ended up getting the charge dropped to party to a crime. Still party to a crime, and just you being with the wrong people at the wrong time, one decision can cause your whole life to be gone like that. And 25 years of my brother's life was spent in jail. He had 2 children at the time, and he missed out on being with them. He missed out on a lot. But God, like I said, God is so faithful, and God answered our prayers. With God, nothing is impossible. Although all the odds were against my brother, with God, nothing is impossible. And I got to keep iterating that, because God brought that to my remembrance. Like, I did that. I released your brother. I answered your prayers. In 2019, it started being prophesied to me that my brother was coming home, and I stood on that. Like I said, when all odds were against my brother, I stood on that. I stood by my brother's side. I was young when my brother went to jail. I stood by his side. I stayed praying and believing that God would do exactly what he said he would do. That my brother had life in prison, and that my brother would not do life in prison. So just know that God can do the impossible. Share these with your teenage sons who might be in the streets and thinking that they friends are really their friend. Those people he took that he didn't want to snitch on, guess what? They left him hanging. They didn't put no money on his books. They didn't do none of that, okay? So I just wanted to share this. Like, don't give up on God. I don't care how long it's taking. I don't care what things are looking like. I don't care. Trust God. He is faithful. He is a promise keeper, and he can be trusted. God bless you all. I pray that something was said to help you, to help your family, to know that with God, nothing is impossible.